Everything takes just a little longer these days for your boy.
You're good, brother.
I think that means I'm old as fuck.
You're not. You good.
Oh, wow. Why is it? This is the wrong thumbnail it's using. Can't have this. What the fuck? No. All right, whatever. I'll fix it later. Presented by Prize Picks. $100 match on your first deposit. Welcome to Light Years. We are live on playback. We are also live on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to join us on playback, click the link, which you will find in the bio, and come over. We'll be taking some live callers. But before we get to that, Andy Lou, we got to watch Steph Curry play a little basketball tonight. I don't know about you. It's always nice. Always, mid-July. It's been a while. It was nice.
Yeah. Look, there's nothing out right now. There's nothing going on. It's a little boring. By the way, Steph looks in shape, man. He looks incredible. I'm not.
Can't say the same for half the other guys, but
there's a couple other guys that look like they've been on vacation. A couple other guys,
right?
But Steph looks like he's locked in. He's probably someone that he can't stay out of shape. I feel like Steph's just always in shape, right? I feel like it's just a matter of like, is he going to kick it into 100%? But Steph's 75% is probably better than, I don't know,
You saw the Steph Curry fanfic, only one working after practice, getting up extra shots, all that sort of stuff. But it's true. Like Steph, look, man, when you're a 6'3" guard and you're still playing at this level at 36, and that doesn't happen unless you're working incredibly hard all year round. And yeah, so like, let's start with the game itself. Opening takes on the game. I thought they looked rusty. I thought the first quarter was disgusting. I thought they got better as the game went on. We got some vintage Steph in the third quarter. Overall, if I put myself through the frame of lens of first game, you expect there to be some rust and some lack of chemistry. I'm okay with it.
I think we have a problem with the starting lineup. This is not this is not a hot take. No, this is real. This is truly, they're gonna lose if they start this lineup. And I said this about Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton last year, and I'm gonna say it again this year. It's not Drew Holiday, it's not Devin Booker, who I don't care for, but he shot well. I get it. But Joel Embiid at the 5, dude. I mean, I know he's out of shape. I know he probably hasn't played basketball in a month before playing this one, but regardless of it's in shape, it's a horrific fit. He's not a great defender. He just isn't. He's pretty bad instinctually, and he's slow. He doesn't really care. It's not his forte. What he cares about is backing down and flopping into a foul call. And even if that's effective, takes away the point of having Steph and LeBron. Like the maximum, like what you want to do is you want to maximize Steph as a scorer. You want to maximize LeBron with the ball in his hands, right? You maximize those two things, you're freaking golden. Just defend. Instead, we've got Joel Embiid
shooting and defense around that.
Honestly, it's not difficult. Now, if you're telling me that it's politics, that's why he's starting, because he's a quote unquote better player than AD, which he's not. But if you're telling that, fine. But they're gonna lose. They are going to lose a game if he's gonna keep starting the rest of the way. So I'm serious. It's a concern, and because we know Steve so well, and he's so late to make adjustments, that I wouldn't be surprised if this costs him. So that's my take.
Let me give you the contrarian take.
Please.
So I agree with you. They should not be closing with Joel Embiid. I think we all agree the best version of this team involves 3-and-D athleticism around Steph and LeBron, right? You put Tatum out there, you put AD out there, you put Anthony Edwards out there, you put Drew Holiday. Like, they have like a bunch of options for guys to put around them. I think they're going to need Embiid versus some of these bigger European teams where they just need a matchup big. And he was horrendous tonight, and he played like it was his team and it was Philly. And he's going to need to accept the fact that on this team, we need you to be loony. We need you to be Zaza. That sort of thing.
Right.
And if I know Statesman Steve, the man who's about to put on a clinic in Paris in front of all the leaders of the free world, man's gonna be kissing, shaking hands with dignitaries, kissing babies, whatever the expressions are. I think he's playing politics here. I think he wants Joel to get there. And the best way for him to get there is to like kind of get his ass kicked a little bit right now when the games don't count, to understand, hey man, this isn't Philly. We don't need those post ups. We need screens. We need rebounding. We need you to defend the post. Do those three things and you're golden, buddy.
I think the point about the first point you made, I think, is the most important one. That's the one where it's look, man, they can't guard Jokic. We know AD can't guard Jokic. Bam for sure can't guard Jokic. And then so Embiid is perhaps their best bet just in terms of size, right? So yeah, I mean, and they're in the same group, right? So they're gonna have to beat those guys to advance. I mean, they shouldn't lose a game regardless. So they should beat every single freaking team by 30. But yeah, I mean, that one makes sense. I'm with you on that one, just in terms of sheer size. He is out of shape. I would love to see him lead the second unit. Like, it'd be nice to see him pound against some of the, because the second
I was a little surprised he started him, because I thought they were going to go with AD with the first unit, then second unit's going to be like the Embiid unit.
Because like, second unit can't really score, right? Like you're getting a lot of ant ISO, which is not great. And so if you can put Embiid down there and just get those guys to play a pick and roll, pick and pop, or bring it, kind of throw the ball down to Embiid and he can kick it out, like that could work, right? I guess end of the day, it's like, are they going to close with AD or Embiid? I think it's pretty clearly they're going to close with AD. It's not even a question, right? And if that's in question, it's even more concerning. But I'd imagine that Steve knows it has to.
What if they close with neither? What if Statesman Steve puts LeBron at the 5? What if we go Steph? I'm doing this off the top of the head, so let me do it. You go Steph, Ant, Tatum, KD, LeBron. Who's guarding that? They got size. You're asking Braun to do some Draymond stuff. He did set a legitimate Trent Williams, Draymond Green screen in this game.
Nice.
Made me smile when I saw that one. I wouldn't be surprised if Steve tries to close with that type of lineup, because who's stopping that? How are you stopping LeBron at the 5 with shooters and Steph around you?
They've got to. That lineup's got to play. It depends who they play. I mean, if they play that lineup against Canada in the goal, yeah, they'll win by 30. But if they played against, like you said, one of the bigger European teams, like they can make hammered on the boards. LeBron's great defensively still, especially in this game, because he can just rely on the back end guys, right? So he's out there hunting for steals and kind of overplaying passing lanes and stuff like that. And KD's kind of the same guy. Those guys aren't rebounding though. They're not banging with a couple of these European bigs. So yeah, if they go with that type of small ball, I think it depends who they play. For sure, but you gotta have AD in there. AD is just so. AD and Drew, those are the two guys that stood out to me. I know we'll get to Steph, but these guys are so good defensively. It's insane. Drew Holiday and just you put those two guys on the floor, Sam. It's over. No team scoring on these guys.
I mean, Drew's the best glue guy in the league.
Oh my god,
he just, and on a team like this, I could argue Drew Holiday is more important than most everyone else, because if you don't have Kevin Durant, you got Jason Tatum. If Tatum's not going, you got Devin Booker to throw in there.
Exactly.
If Booker's not going, you got well, they don't have Kawhi anymore. So we'll start running out, guys. But the point is, they have scoring options, they have shooting options. They only have one guy who, gets his nose in there, guards a point of attack like that, gets all the loose balls, makes the right pass, just the quintessential glue guy. He's kind of a 6'4" Iguodala.
Yeah, that's Iguodala's the comp, right? That's probably why they chose Derek White, right? Just in case something goes wrong with Drew, like they still got Derek White, who's like a little bit of a lesser version of him. I think you think about like the 2012. What's the last like dream team? 2012? 2012, right? That team had, that team's glue. They had prime Kobe and LeBron. Like those guys were like they were like glue guys times a million, right? Because they could do all the things that Drew could do. They just did it at an absurd level because those guys are way better than Drew. This team is like Steph and LeBron are old. Like LeBron's not doing the glue stuff as much anymore. And then it's like Devin Booker. It's like he kind of just score, right? KD, he's older. He kind of just score. It is a weirdly like superstar heavy team, and I'm a little concerned. This part is controlling for me. It's like I'm a little concerned about the role player who's making the glue type plays, who's making those passes, who's making the defense, who's fighting over screens, right? Who's getting those rebounds, and Drew and AD are probably the two guys to me that they're going to be.
I mean, they're capable. They need to get better. Like
you just got to do it, right? You just got to do it. You could do it, right? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but these guys aren't like lacking in the talent. So like, it's the first game that I want to talk about Steph a little bit here.
Okay.
I think to me, the first quarter was ugly. It looked like a team who hadn't played together, who was probably not in prime shape. Against Canada's good. Canada has a lot of good players. Like, they're going to hand it to you if you don't show up a little bit, right? And then in the third quarter, that's where I was like, oh, this is Steph's team. They have a bunch of superstars here, but I think this is Steph's team because he's the one who kind of asserted himself and took over in that capacity. And they started running the offense more through him instead of him being a decoy. I mean, this should sound super familiar to every Warriors fan, right? Like, we've seen this, but I was talking about this to you earlier, but like, my favorite moment in the game was when he tried to relocate and Braun was standing in the corner and he just shoves him to go set a screen so he can relocate and hit that shot right there. I walked away from this going, I think we're getting some special Steph this summer. I think he is frustrated the way the Warriors season went. And I think of everyone, and this sounds really silly to say, but I feel it. I feel it like truly. I think he has the most to prove of anyone on this team.
Really?
In his mind, he wants to walk away from this with everyone basically going, he's still that dude. He's still the best. And what the fuck are the Warriors doing? They better figure their shit out because that dude is too good to be sitting on a team who doesn't know what direction they're going. That's I think that's what Steph's going for here. I think he's going to take it upon himself to kind of assert himself. Also, he's never played in the Olympics, and this sort of stuff matters to him. So LeBron, he looks every bit of approaching 40 in his sense. I think he's going to be excellent in general, but he doesn't have much to play for. KD is going to always do his thing. Guys like Booker, Tatum, that's not really who they are to try to like make it their own. I think this could be the summer of Steph. That is my take. This will be the summer of Steph, and I am very here for it.
I turn that into a short, Tim. Producer, we need that. We need that on the on IG and Twitter and YouTube. I need that everywhere.
Summer of Steph.
That was amazing.
The summer of Steph.
Yes. I'm gonna ruin the vibes here for all of you guys. I think it's the summer of Steph and LeBron. I think those guys are. It's pretty obvious that they're so happy playing with one another. That alley-oop, which by the way, LeBron looked like he got 2 inches off the ground and threw that thing down, and Steph was fist pumping. I think the USA Twitter account tweeted that thing like 50 straight times and 200 different angles.
Every account did. Yeah.
That was unbelievable. I see Steph here is pom-pom waving as LeBron is getting interviewed after the game. Those guys love each other. They didn't used to love each other. I think they're old enough now to the point that they definitely don't hate each other. There are times that they've probably talked about playing with one another, which is why we've seen through the past few years, LeBron maybe asking for a trade out. So I just think, and again, we haven't seen those two guys play together, right? And I mean, you can even throw KD in here. It feels like the crowning of a generation that is about to end. We're not going to see LeBron again in the Olympics. We're not going to see Steph, probably not in the Olympics. KD, we're probably not. Who's like the most winning guy in the Olympics of all time. And this feels like the end of it, and it feels like the crowning achievement for those guys. So I'm with you on the Steph stuff, but you know how this is going to go. It's LeBron's document. LeBron's PR team is the best in the world, baby. So I just think this is going to be about those two guys. And dude, we're just going to see way more highlights, which goes back again to Embiid. Just get the fuck out the way. Just get the fuck out the way and let Steph cook, right? Like he did in the third quarter. Let LeBron cook. Once Tatum comes back, hopefully he gets healthy here. Let those guys. It's gonna be amazing, Sam. I know, like I was acting. They should win each game by like 30 points. Like, it will be amazing. Those guys, they are still good enough, especially Steph.
I will say, of the other players on the team, I thought Tatum
Woo!
makes no sense around these guys. I mean, he's in his prime. He's officially in his prime, two-way player. Just
Are we
played
Tatum stands? Are we Tatum stands? Is he underrated? Bill Simmons' voice, is he underrated?
I think he is a little underrated.
It might be.
Yeah. Ant Edwards, I thought he played a really good game. I think he makes sense as well. Like, I don't know, just mix up the lineups. Don't put the old guys and the young guys together. Like, it needs to be a little more balanced. But you know how Steve is. He's gonna mix it up. Statesman Steve.
What did you come up with, Statesman Steve? By the way, where did that come from?
I was trying to think of an alliteration that made sense for like the worldliness that is Steve on the global stage. Because
Senator Steve. Senator Steve. Oh, somebody just said it. Senator Steve. Yeah, that's a good one.
Senator Steve works too, but this is global. Yeah. We're not talking Congress here. We're talking. He's a statesman. He's an ambassador for America.
He's an ambassador. You know? He'd be a good ambassador. That's one thing.
Is Steve making two timelines work in the Olympics? Wow.
Well, when Ant's your second timeline and 22 years old, it's gonna work no matter what. I'll tell you that. So we'll get to more stuff. I think we want to talk about some other summer league stuff, right? So before we do that, the Light Years podcast, we are brought to you by Game Time. Game Time makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip off with killer last minute deals, all in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets or my place and MLB tickets. I'm going to the game on Friday night. The Giants play the Twins. And the Giants finally get back to 500. We will see. We may never know. May never happen. But use promo code LIGHTYEARS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. They got priority last minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. The lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app. Create an account, use code LIGHTYEARS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LIGHTYARS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price. Guaranteed.
I am heading to Vegas this weekend, my friend.
Let's go.
I'm going to be at Summer League. By the way, if any of the goons are at Summer League, hit me up on Twitter. You know how to get a hold of me. Be happy to see you. I will be at the Warriors game on Saturday and on Sunday. I get to see my guy, Brandon Pajemski, Trace Jackson Davis. I don't know how many games they're going to play in Vegas. My gut says they play one, maybe two. So maybe Saturday is the only time we get to see them. But it'll be fun. They did play tonight concurrently at the California Classic. Warriors won a trophy. The Mitch Richmond Invitational. Beat the Kings. Champions of the California Classic. I was second screening it, so I don't want to go too in depth into it. I think you were second screening it as well.
Yep.
Sorry.
Third screening. I was third screening, but yeah. Jeez.
Relax. Lie a little bit for the
I mean, I was still watching it. Marquise Bolden, by the way, might be the best player on the Warriors. Just so you know. But keep going.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So I didn't have too many heavy takes on this one other than Pajemski was super aggressive shooting the ball. And that's kind of my main take that I want to see from Summer League. And again, I don't read too much into Summer League. He did not look particularly good last Summer League. And everyone was all annoyed about it. And he had a fucking phenomenal rookie season. Let me expand this. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
The thing that stood out to me when I was watching the game, particularly in the first quarter, he was hunting his 3-point shot, which he would not do last year. And Steve Kerr has said this a ton. And I think it's just common sense. Look, he's not going to take over the game with his athleticism. He is a smart player. He is a good passer. He does need to be a legitimate shooter to have any sort of upside being beyond a 8-point per game glue guy, right? Like, that's just the reality of it. I know he can shoot the ball and he has touch, but can he shoot the ball in volume? Can he, you know who I think of? I think of Derek White. Remember Derek White on the Spurs was super apprehensive to shoot the ball in general. And then just over time, particularly on the Celtics, he turned into a pretty knockdown shooter and he shoots on a lot of volume. I think that's what the Warriors want from Podziemski. Actually, I don't think. I know that's what Steve wants. He wants Podziemski to take open shots and to hit them with confidence. And 39% from three is good, but 39% from three when you're only taking 2 to 3 a game doesn't really do anything for me. I need you to hit 39% when you take 5 to 6 a game.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. Look, if he ends up being Derek White, Derek White was really good on the Spurs too. I don't think he took this crazy leap by the time he got to the Celtics. I thought he was awesome with the Spurs. They just Brad Stevens is the best GM in the world right now by far, and he just kind of stole him away. I think I would like to see Podziemski play better. This is just one game, so I don't think this matters at all. But
no, it doesn't.
But it would be concerning to me actually if he didn't dominate Summer League. You got to dominate Summer League as a second year guy. It would be concerning if he didn't. But again, it's one game, so talk to me in a week. So that doesn't matter. I'm with you on the who he has to be stuff, because I think he ends up being the lead ball handling guard, especially in the second unit going into next season. I have no idea what the rotations. What the roster is going to be. I'd imagine they consolidate some guys and he's not starting, right? But I think he's going to have that Chris Paul role right off the bat. So lead ball handler, to me, the decision making is maybe even more important, and not just shooting, because he'll have guys around him. It's he's going to have to get Kuminga involved, right? TJD involved, those guys. I'm less so concerned about how many shots he jacks up versus can he actually run point, because who else do they have to handle the ball in the second unit right now?
I think right now, first off, they signed Melton to be a big minute player, and Melton makes a ton of sense next to Steph. So I do think the plan is to potentially start someone like Melton next to Steph. Let Melton be the guy who guards the other team's lead guard, dog him and hit some shots. And then Podz comes off the bench. And then it'll be one of those situations where, if Podz is.
Did I lose Sam? Is it me or is it my screen? Okay, Sam is frozen. It's not just me. Okay. Scared me for a second. Hey Sam, you're gonna have to run back the last 10 seconds. You're frozen. You're
been one of his.
Makeup made the call. I'm gonna wait for him to come back. What is Tuna Melton? Why are people talking about Tuna Melton? Dude, I haven't had technical issues in months. It's honestly a miracle. I don't know what Xfinity did with my Wi-Fi, but they fixed some shit. I don't know what happened. So shout out to Xfinity. Oh shit, Sam's just gone. He probably restarted Wi-Fi.
It's not a Wi-Fi issue. It's a browser issue. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, where did I get cut off?
Right when you started making your point. So just restart making your point. Yeah, you'll be good.
Talking, and then I got the spinning circle of death. And
just restart your point. You're good. Restart your point.
It does not matter what platform we use. I could be on Playback, it could be on StreamYard, it could be on Zoom, it could be on Google Meet. So that's how I know it's not them, it's me. Yeah. It's all of them. All right. So I think Podz is Melton's going to be the starting two guard until proven otherwise. Podz will get opportunities to get in there and close games depending on how he plays. I think that makes sense. Don't put too much on his plate. Honestly, if Podz has to play 40 minutes a game, that means we're running into a situation like last year where Steve does not trust anyone to make a decision, and he feels he needs another ball handler, even if it comes at the expense of other stuff. So, that's worrisome if we end up over there.
I think that's kind of my point. Is I'm worried about. I'm more worried about the decision making that he's going to make in summer league versus the shooting, because I got a feeling he's a shooter. I got a feeling he's going to be able to shoot pretty well on volume. the entirety of his career. Like I'm not concerned if he can,
but he hasn't yet, you know.
But I think he could get there. What I am actually unsure about is whether he can be a decision maker with the ball in his hands. Like that's the stuff I have no idea he can do. And it's hard. It's really hard. It took Jalen Brunson like 5 years to get there. It took Derek White, he's not even a lead ball handler, like a long time to get there. So I think it's a little unfair for me to be like, oh, can he become that guy next year? It's year 2. It might take him till year 5 to do that. So
what's funny is I trust his decision making way more than the shooting today. Maybe, dude, he has a better. He doesn't turn the ball.
It's not about turning the ball. It's not about that though. To me, it's if you're gonna be the guy that is in closing lineups and leading bench units. There are going to be times that I think, like, for example, is he going to get the best out of Kuminga, right? Is he going to get the best out of TJD? Because it's not just about him and those units. It's hard. I think he could. That's why I'd rather have him play off the bench.
Can he get other guys going? Okay, I see where you're going with this.
I'd rather have him play off the bench as that lead handler than playing next to Steph. I think we got a problem, as in the Warriors have a problem if they're starting Steph and Podz together. Like, I think it's drawing dead immediately if that happens. But they might do that, right? They might go Melton at the 3.
If they go Melton at the 3, that's unserious. I actually don't mind. Podz next to Steph. My theory that no one seems to bring up is everyone plays 2 guards who are 6'3" now. And like, just go look around the league. The Boston Celtics just won with 2 guards who are 6'3".
But they have elite defensive guards though.
I mean, but is the Warriors' issue that they have 2 guards who are 6'3", or is their issue that they have a small front court and specifically guys in the front court who can't defend? They had the best defense in the league when Jordan Poole started next to Steph. And it wasn't because of Jordan Poole. I'll tell you that. It was because Looney and Wiggins played all NBA caliber defense next to Draymond, who plays all-time defense. So I think it can work. I think it's a little bit of everything. But I agree with the overall point, which is if Podziemski's on the team next year, and I only say that because I do think if the Lowry Markkanen trade happens, Podz is a prime suspect to be in it. He just is. I think he is. I think him and Kuminga, like, I don't know who Danny Ainge wants, but it's gonna be a coin flip. If I mean, he probably wants both of them, to be honest. He wants both of them. He wants all the picks. He wants the deed to Lacob's Atherton house. Like, all I'm saying is it's all. So, but like, let's assume he's not traded for the sake of the conversation. I think that the idea of Podz as the 3rd guard, and there'll be nights where it makes sense to close with him and use more of him and Steph, and there'll be nights where we need more defense. We need more maturity. It doesn't make sense. I think that makes all the sense in the world. On the Derek White point, I just want to point this out to you because you're focused on decision making. I'm focused on shooting. Ultimately, I think they both matter. Derek White, in his early years with the Spurs, really didn't take a lot of shots, which is fine, but it's very hard to play a guy if he's not willing to take open shots. And then you look at what he turned into with the Celtics. So to me, it's, going from taking 3 threes a game, and then all of a sudden 7. to taking 6 at 39%, that type of thing. Like, I think Podz can be this type of guy who hits 39% on 6 threes a game. And I think that's kind of what they want to see from him, in addition to, of course, decision-making and everything you're saying. So maybe we're talking about it from 2 sides of the same coin. But to me, I'm just not into putting dudes around Steph who don't want to shoot open shots unless they are Draymond Green. And Podz,
like he's gonna
love you, but you're not Draymond Green.
He shoots a lot. I think he's gonna shoot. By the way, also, like, with Derek White's thing, what can you tap out of this one, close out of this one? I want to see when he started shooting 7 threes a game. Like, what age did he start doing that? think he was like 27, right? Yeah, 26 actually. So it took him a little while to get there comfortable in that NBA speed. Which I think the same thing happens because he shot 3 until he was first 3 years of the league. Some of this stuff is just time. I mean, it just goes back to the 2 timeline stuff. It's just like it's just going to take Podziemski a while. You can't just expect him to be like, look at Clay the first couple of years in the league, right? You can't just expect him to be this like. I'm talking about myself or really anyone. It's just saying maybe you can say the same thing with Kuminga. It's just take these guys so long to become like legitimate playoff players, which is what the Warriors need. Don't they? Like they need legitimate, which is kind of unfair. Is all I'm trying to say. Because I think Podz gets to 6 threes and 38%. I actually think he does that pretty easily. There's nothing in his skill set to me that like I'm worried about. The question is like, all right, but when is that going to happen? It's not happening next year, that's for sure. So is that going to happen like 3 years from now, 4 years from now? I think he gets there no matter what. But 4 years from now, Steph is chilling with you and I. You know what I mean? We're all golfing together, relaxing on the beach somewhere. So that's the hard part about all this stuff, right? And Podz ain't the only one. I do the Jalen Brunson one now, and that's like the one. I'm really hammered in on the Jalen Brunson one because that's Podz feeling. Right? It took him a long time.
Podz mentions in any interview like Brunson's the guy he watches a ton of. Which makes sense. You see it like they're both lefties. Lefties love lefties. That's just a fact. As a lefty, you know, I thought I was Chris Mullen every time I played pickup. Only problem is, you know, it didn't go in the hoop nearly as often. So, but anyway, I'm curious. I do want to. It would make me feel really good if Game 1 in Vegas, Podz gets 28 points, goes like 6 for 9 from 3.
Right.
And just has like he plays where you're just like, oh, this is an NBA guy. Why is he playing? Why is he playing with these
exactly
dudes? You know, that's what I want to see. Because I'm actually not concerned about the passing. I thought he had some nice dimes to TJD tonight. And in some ways, summer league's not the best way to judge passing because you're playing with dudes you've had like 2 practices with. You know, it's a lot of like timing stuff, right? So
but I agree with you on the dominate part though. Like you remember Jonathan Kuminga going into year 2 after the championship season, and we kind of expected him to just dominate going in, and you watch him playing, you're like, yo, he looks terrible. He's taking 15-foot fadeaways. He's turning the ball over. They're losing by 20. What the hell is going on? It's not a serious player and work on anything in the offseason. And we were too happy coming off the 2022 championship, so we didn't give a fuck. But that was a sign. Like, he wasn't serious. Podziemski doesn't have that issue. He's very serious. Very, very serious. He was with Team USA, right? So he was playing with those guys, which is awesome. So I think he's going to get better for sure. We'll see. I'm watching every game, so it'd be nice to see him go for 30 and stuff like that. But I think the effort and the willingness to get better isn't an issue with Podz.
No.
That's for damn sure.
No, not at all. All right, we got a few goons to get to before we get out of here. Appreciate everyone. We'll go with our guy McWalters. I haven't heard from McWalters in a minute, so
good mood.
Usually we let McWalters hit at the back end of the lineup. We like to let him drive in runners. But Giants thought they were getting that with Solaire. Couldn't do it. They're like, we're gonna hit you lead off, buddy. Are you okay?
Good. I'm good. Oh, I thought McWalter was coming on. Sorry. I thought McWalter was coming on. I'm good.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry. That was my eye.
Yo. What's up, guys?
What's up, brother?
Just a fun Wednesday night. Anytime you get to watch Steph Curry, it's a good night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just clear that, like, you can learn a lot from these Olympics with how Kirk coaches. I mean, and why even start Booker? I don't even know why Booker gets minutes. There's so many better options than him. He should be the second unit lead guy at best. Bring him in there to kind of light things up with his shooting, But, Durant wasn't available. Some other guys weren't available, whatever. And, Dylan Brooks doing Dylan Brooks things, bumping LeBron, being Mr. Tough Guy in a game that doesn't matter. It's so on par for him. It's hilarious. But yeah, it's just nice to see the Warriors win something. You talk about these in-season tourneys and these summer league tourneys. Hey, we won this like mini stupid little thing in California. Awesome! That's actually good. It's better than us being worked in all the games. Right? Even though
winning is better. Winning is better than losing. That's just an objective fact.
Absolutely. And Podz looking good, and the Team USA stuff is great. And I really think that for him and for Trace Jackson Davis, those are good signs for us, right? And then it's now it's just the waiting game, right? Can we all be patient till August to see
August
if Lowry
6th.
comes our way?
It's D-Day. I got it scheduled on the Light Years calendar. We're gonna do a 24-hour streamathon.
Dude, we just went like 30 minutes without talking Lowry at all. That was amazing. See, we'll do that tomorrow though.
Yeah, hats off to you
30
guys.
minutes
You guys
too
really
long.
worked that one.
Enough, Steph Curry. Back to Lowry. Yeah.
Nah, it's all good. We gotta love Steph. I mean, I'm really hoping he shows out and has a dominant game or two, or even like a dominant like medal game in the gold medal. Well, hopefully we're in the gold medal game, and like that he dominates then, and the world can just see everything that we already know, that he is one of the greatest on that stage with LeBron, on that stage with KD, and he shows out. I mean, that would be phenomenal. That would make the summer. That should be the only thing we're talking about and rooting for, is just to see the greatness of Steph one more time, but see it on the international stage. And I think that would just be phenomenal for basketball. That'd be phenomenal for Warriors fans, and I'm really hoping to see that happen.
I agree, McWalter. Appreciate you. Have a great evening.
Much love.
Likewise. Laters.
Let's see who else we got.
Snyder's honey mustard pretzels. Shout out indeed. I haven't had those in a while.
I haven't either, but those now I want to get some.
Yeah. Dude.
All right, what's up, man?
Hey, last time my internet froze, and it was, and
That's
I
right.
was definitely about to, I was definitely about
That's
to say, let this dude cook.
You are leaving us again.
You're
stop,
muffled,
Stop
my
covering
friend.
your mouth.
Way.
Yeah.
That's
Stop covering your
insane.
mouth. Yeah.
That's insane. Okay, so what I was gonna bring up this time. Can you guys hear me? All right.
Yep.
Yeah, you're clear.
You know what? If they wanted to punt, I've been thinking about it, and if Lowry says no to the extension, because he is worth more than that money, because under the current rules, they can only make top 140% more.
Right.
That they made. That would be 25. He is not worth $25 million. Like any good agent would suggest that he would opt out of that. I am fine if they're willing to let Utah kind of bleed in that decision to try to save a few more of our picks, because honestly, even with Lowry, and I know Lowry fits so well, it's like, would we be the second or third seed? I don't think so. I think.
Ooh.
I think any extra development on Kuminga that we can get, any extra minutes for TJD, and I wouldn't mind waiting until not the trade deadline, but maybe the the trade deadline, if we're going 50%, like I wouldn't mind it, just do what Dallas did and get back to the finals that way. It's what we would be doing in that case, is acquiring Lowry, which is much bigger than anything that Dallas even did. But still, what I'm trying to elicit to is like Kuminga last season, his stats, his actual season stats, they kind of lie, because the last 30 games where he really had a starting role he was averaging 19.8 points. Like, that's better than what Jaylen Brown averaged in year 3 is like 13 points per game. I don't think people keep on comparing him to Jaylen Brown. If that is who he is, he's on a better than Jaylen Brown trajectory. And he's just so athletic. Like I know, I'm hammering this point in the ground, but he is. And TJD,
if you could acquire Lowry without Kuminga, do you still see the point in waiting? Because to me, if it drags to the trade deadline, I think it's pretty hard to make a run when you acquire someone at the trade deadline. It's one thing when you acquire Daniel Gafford to be an energy guy. It's another when you acquire someone who's going to fundamentally change your entire team.
It's a great point.
Yeah, I know, I understand, but Steph is that amenable as a player. He is just that. He's that transcendent that he is able to blend people into the offense a lot faster than people realize. Because Steph is willing to take the lower path trailed and let somebody else shine and get used to the system. I think it would work out a lot faster than you'd expect. But obviously, I'm not a coach, so I can't really say that. But just what I've noticed as somebody who's watched basketball for a while, and I'm just because I really do think these young players are going to develop a lot next season if we keep them, and they will look like such good assets. Like Brandon, like TJD, I think his 8th game starting, he stopped Giannis. Do you guys remember that?
I would.
Bucks game? It's like,
I would.
I know, but you could just you could make these gems a lot brighter. You
You would
a little early.
Everybody wants to give nothing and get everything, but
yeah,
it's how it goes. You got to give some to get some. In the Warriors case, I think.
Yeah,
here's the thing.
Zach LaVine.
They're not. I think it's becoming crystal clear. They're not interested in paying Zach LaVine's contract.
Oh
I also
God,
think
I wouldn't even take him if we were given 3 first-rounders. I'd still say no. It's just the contract is that scary. Like the ability to not add any good defenders after that.
I mean, apparently, I actually like LaVine, but the more I see it, the more I like it.
But 46 million, that's not. Come on. Yeah. All right. Anyways. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No.
Just bickering.
No. I appreciate the point. I just want to say this to push back at it. Let's see what happens with Markkanen, because I really do think that August 6th deadline, if he signs an extension, look, man, I don't think the Warriors are going to get him anytime soon. I think the Jazz are going to bleed that thing out. But if they don't, I just don't see why Utah's not moving him before the season starts, because it actually hurts them. It hurts them. Every day it goes on, they get less. So
I preempted it with, I think if they don't get him signed, then they're probably just going to be in a lesser position, panic. But yeah.
I also think someone else will just swoop him if the Warriors think they can wait.
I'm thinking literally Jonathan Kuminga might average 21 points per game. He would look a lot like a better ass. He would look like such a good ass, such a pretty asset.
Until you have to pay him.
Fair enough.
The moment he gets paid, I think it's
then he would request Scotty Barnes money. Yeah.
He's not even as good as Scotty.
He's not getting that type of money.
No, he's not. All right, I'm heading out.
But still, the contract he's getting is going to be. Here's what I think, and thanks for calling in. Yeah, thanks for calling. We got a couple goons left. So I think, Sam. I think Larry's requested out. I think he wants to get out of there. It's a tanking team. They want Cooper Flag. I think he thinks he can get his money from anywhere else.
Cooper Flag.
I do. Same here. That's just Cap America, baby. I think they want to keep it quiet because they don't want to lose leverage. Utah doesn't. I think Utah's leaking everything right now to try to get somebody up their offer. I think the Warriors are the most desperate team by far, so they probably have the best offer. But Danny Ainge is sitting there and saying, "Fuck, this offer's
Can I get more?
Exactly.
But, hey, I got 3 more weeks to see if I can make someone else throw me another pick.
Exactly.
Because he's not in a rush. He didn't.
Why would he be? Until August 1st, August 2nd, August 3rd.
Right.
But he's saying like the Warriors offer is going to be there. And the Warriors sitting here saying our offer is going to be there. You're not getting anything from anyone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Kings. They're pretty dumb, right? So that's what I think. I don't think Lowry's resigning. I think Larry's comfortable saying like, just get me out of here, man. I don't be here. Go get me to play.
It's a lot of money. But to your point, like that. Look, there's nothing you or I can say today that we didn't say yesterday that we can't say tomorrow, but we're gonna say it tomorrow. It's gonna be a leverage game. I think Ainge is uniquely tricky because he's good at this. He is good at this. He's trying to get another bidder in there to see how desperate Joe Lacob is.
He might. Like, what if Ingram comes off the board? What if Ingram goes to Cleveland and the Kings are sitting there like, fuck, we still need someone, right? Why don't we go all in on whatever, right?
What if Kuzma gets traded? I mean, keep going down the list. So it seems like it's like that scene from The Office where they're all like pointing the guns at each other. Like, everyone's just trying to see what they want to do. So anyway, keep moving. What's up, Ebony?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up?
Ooh,
maybe I can't hear you.
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, all clear.
Cool. First off, Steph to LeBron with the lob. I feel like I can die happy now. That was all I needed to see. And the Sully afterwards, it was just pure joy. I felt like they both are just like happy to be in a competent setting, if that makes sense. Like everyone around them knows how to like they just bring useful skills. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but it's cool to see them like just happy to play with each other, if that makes sense. So
for sure.
Then my next question: who of the Olympic team could you see, if it were possible? None of it's possible, but who would you see requesting a trade to the Warriors after playing with Steph in the Olympics if they were to get super far?
I think this is a fun one, Ebony. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, have a good one.
Andy, you go first. We're gonna end on this one.
This is hard. It's a great question.
Who's the dark horse trade candidate? Because right now we're Lowry or bust, but let's live in a post-Lowry world.
Golly, that is.
Is Kevin coming home?
It's not Kevin. I would love for it to be Kevin. It's not Kevin. I got two names in my head.
Sure.
The first one is the one I just spent the first 15 minutes crapping on. It's Joel Embiid. Let's say the Philly stuff goes to shit. Under Armour guys, I think they have a pre-existing relationship. I think Steph would be in for that one. I could see that one happening. There's a little Mercurio, I feel like. I'd be all in for that. The other one I think is I actually think is Devin Booker. I think would be fascinating one because
good.
I don't know if it's a great fit, but I think he sees the second option value. Let's say KD gets traded again. Say KD gets traded to, I don't know, pick your team.
OKC, baby.
Yeah, let's say he goes back to OKC, whatever. And Bradley Beal's that joke of a contract sitting there, and Book's sitting there like, yo, I got a crazy GM, crazy owner. These guys have no idea what they're doing. I've been here my whole career. I want to go somewhere else. And Clay's gone, right? And so he's just like, let's go to Golden State. So Booker's the other guy that I was thinking of. You got other guys? You got other names?
I got a fun one for you.
Okay.
I go AD.
You really? I knew you were going to go. It's a perfect fit. You really think he'd do it?
I think the Lakers situation's cooked. I'm not convinced that they're not willing to take the Lowry offer of owning all the Warriors draft picks and Kuminga and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to throw it out there. That's my look. None of them are happening. We can take the whole Celtics team. But
if you're throwing that offer, I'd rather just Steph and LeBron. So, Sam's gone. Oh, I thought we're ending it.
I closed my tab. That was. I appreciate everyone. We're out of here. We'll be back. You guys.